Up first, we have Coastal Carolina on the road at James Madison. JMU is a 9.5-point home favorite, and this over-under is sitting at 60.5 points here at time of recording. This game kicks off Thursday at 7:30 p.m. on ESPN2. Last week, JMU absolutely stunned by Louisiana Monroe as 16.5-point favorites. They lost outright 21-19, but they did outgain the Warhawks by over 100 yards. But their shortcoming here was they were 1 for 5 on fourth down. That's not going to win you very many ball games there. A week after accounting for 7 touchdowns, QB Alonzo Barnett was held in check. Didn't really do a whole lot there. He did rush one in, but no passing touchdowns. Barnett, look, he does a little bit too much sometimes. He's taken 14 sacks this year with almost a 37% pressure to sack ratio. That's the worst in the FBS. Just kind of for a benchmark here, if you're over 20%, it's a legitimate concern. He's at 37% on the season. Again, great playmaker, heck of a ball player, and great season, but sometimes he does a little bit too much and takes sacks that are pretty unnecessary. In my opinion, this is a really fun matchup for multiple reasons, but mostly because James Madison is in the 12th percentile in explosive play rate and 96th percentile in non-explosive EPA, meaning that they're not really giving up a whole lot on defense except for big explosive yards. Just 2 touchdowns scored on them this season have come within 15 yards of the goal line. On the other end, Coastal Carolina, they're in the top 1% in the country in explosive passing rate. 17 30-yard passes on the season. That's second most in the country. So we're looking at a defense that doesn't give up a whole lot except for big plays and a big play-oriented passing offense in Coastal Carolina. Now, between both quarterbacks, I've been really impressed with Barnett. We just talked about it. He adds a bit more of a dynamic rushing threat than Coastal's Ethan Vasco, but both have been really good, like pretty good. If they're your quarterback, you're happy with the way that they've been playing this year. I do think James Madison's going to be able to score on Coastal Carolina. North Carolina is really the only solid data point, in my opinion, that we have on James Madison's defense. Otherwise, they played Charlotte, Gardner-Webb from the FCS, Ball State, ULM. Just not very strong offenses that they played here. But with explosive potential on both sides, I like taking over 60.5 points here. This total was bet up from 58.5 at open. We saw a little bit of resistance when that hit 62.5, but at 60.5 or better, I'm willing to play over on that total.